Trump versus Zelensky. Okay, so before I put this is okay. So when we were watching this, it had just happened, and we were watching it as it was happening live,
Yeah.
and we were like, "This is like incredible. This is absolutely probably one of the best presidencies we've ever had in our lifetime." To be able to see two like leaders from two different countries go at it with each other was pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Well, you're just seeing what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes it must have been even more intense.
The stuff they don't record. No, yeah, behind the scenes.
But imagine if this is like what they're showing, like front face. I can only imagine what's happening behind closed doors. So pretty cool.
I really liked how JD Vance defended the president.
Yes, and it shows that's a real VP.
Yeah, that's a real VP.
Yes,
that's the first time I see a VP actually like stand up for the president.
Right, and that's what we were saying when we were watching this. We're like, yo, this is the first time we see a VP actually like be a VP. You know, like what a vice president's supposed to be. Like, I'm gonna back up my president. You know, like that's my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I thought it was really cool, and I like that he brought out the fight because he knew that Trump was being kind. Trump was straight up being nice and patient with this guy. And JD was like, nah, fuck this, bro. We're gonna bring out what's actually going on, and you see. Zelensky go on guard mode with his his what do you call that when they're showing you with their physical language? What is that called?
Body language.
Body language. Physical language. You understood me. All right, check this out.
Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America. And for the good of the world, I'm aligned.
That's what people don't understand. It's like he has to do that. Just because he's talking to Putin, and is trying to make a deal with Putin doesn't mean he's Putin's lapdog, which a lot of people have been saying that. It's like, do you understand how deals work?
They don't.
Because you can't.
They don't.
You can't do a deal between two nations if you only are talking to one of the nations. You need to talk to both of them. That's how deals work. Like, hey, what do you want? What do we need to do to get this to stop? You need to talk to both. And that was like the main problem here. Oh, you're talking to Putin? Oh, you're on his side. Like, no, that's not what.
Yeah. It gets better, bro. It gets so bad.
And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that. But
that's the problem.
I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. You're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Here we go, guys.
Okay. So he occupied our big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and
Well,
2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he
I
killed.
was not here.
Yeah, but,
That's exactly
but
right.
yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken the ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong,
Mr. President,
Look
with
at his-
respect,
look at
I
his
think
body
it's
language
disrespectful
already.
for you to
Yep.
come into the Oval
Here we
Office
go.
and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for
have you
trying to
ever
bring
been?
an end to this
Have you
conflict.
ever been to Ukraine? That you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems?
What?
Bringing people into your
No,
military?
we have
And do you think that it's
I will-
respectful
I will answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of
will
the
answer
United
it.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God
That was a
bless.
threat.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
Oh, here
we're
we go.
trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel
good.
very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
The best.
You
strong.
will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What do you-
III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October.
Yeah.
Offer some words of appreciation for the
What-
United
what
States
are
of
you
America
speaking about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
can I
Wait a minute.
answer?
No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
No, I don't
You're
think
not
you know.
winning this.
I,
You have a damn
we-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying-
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your president.
military equipment.
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
if,
West
if you didn't
You
have our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In
Yep.
3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell
Yep.
you.
to say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there-
thank you
except
to
that-
American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on
I
out there.
understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't,
you're
please,
running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire?
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
That wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
But this
That was
is your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins.
Yep.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks ceasefire?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do we do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you
but
saying?
What if
She's asking,
Russia-
what if Russia
Putin
breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden, because Biden, they didn't respect him.
Right.
They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam.
Shifty out.
And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he did. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But
All right. So, okay.
Yeah, so lots to unpack there.
So, just to give you some insight here, after that, they were supposed to have lunch and they were supposed to sign the deal. Nothing was signed. There was no lunch. He was like, nah, fam, we're not going to do anything until he admits, which I believe is, it's not here on the guide, but if you can find it, Donald Trump literally says, until he doesn't admit that he wants peace and he doesn't want any more war, we're not going to make a deal. Which makes perfect sense. But what I don't understand is how the Democrats and the media are spinning it. And they're saying, oh, I cannot believe he's not siding with Zelensky. Bro, are you like, what? Why would you side with somebody who continuously has been getting money and doesn't even know where half the money went? So we gave them like 300 billion something dollars. He said 350. We don't know where over 100 billion of that went. So, like, the fact that people are saying, oh, we should apologize to Zelensky. No. He should apologize to us because we gave him money we did not have because we're in a deficit, so we owe money. Estamos por el cuello. We're giving this freaking guy money that we don't have. And we're supposed to be the
we're
guy.
up to our tits for the guys.
And we're supposed to be the bad guys? Like, what? Dude, no. We're the good guys. We're giving this guy money for him to fight a war and to maintain to be a sovereign country, even though they don't have. This guy canceled elections. And then they're saying, oh, I can't believe Donald Trump called him a dictator or an authoritarian. He canceled elections. If you're a democratic country, why are you canceling elections? Like, which is the same thing FDR did, by the way, when we were in war. That's why he went through a third term, because he said, oh, there's no reason for elections. We're going through a war. This guy's doing the same shit. That's why the Democrats are like, yeah, it's perfectly fine. I mean, our president did it. Like, no, it's not. He's a Democrat. He's a Democratic president, supposedly. He believes in elections. So why did he cancel his own elections? Like, maybe because he doesn't want to admit that he did a shitty job and his people actually don't want him in. But if you cancel elections, we won't know that, will we? So this was a perfect. You found it?
Yeah, I think this is it.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that is it. This is a perfect example.
It's like 4 minutes
of the left. Literally, again, instead of seeing the bigger picture, that like this guy should be held accountable because we gave you a shit ton of money and you don't even know what it is. And B, like we should be the tough guys because we gave you money and because of us, you're still alive and you still have a good chunk of your country still. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have Jack. He would have probably taken the whole thing. So the fact that we're supposed to be seen as the bad guys here and they flipped the switch is mind-boggling to me. But take a look at this.
He looks so tired. Poor guy.
So thank you very much. So I just want to say we're going down to Florida. We have a big event tomorrow night. A big MAGA event, Make America Great Again. And it's setting records, and otherwise I'd rather be right now at the White House. But we're doing the big event tomorrow night. We had some big news this week, as you know, because Apple is investing $500 billion. Think of that. And that's going to be a lot. It's going to be a tremendous investment. I guess the biggest investment anybody's ever made in the country at one time. But they're going to be investing a lot of money, $500 billion. We have many other companies have just announced they're coming in. A lot of it's because of how we're doing. We've done a great turnaround in a little more than 30 days, but the country's really doing well. Really doing well. We're respected again all over the world. If you look, we had the Japanese Prime Minister. We had the Prime Minister yesterday of UK, as you know. We had the Prime Minister of India. We have another 20 Prime Ministers and Presidents wanting to come. And very good feeling. I think our country has really turned around. We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. Yep. I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. And it was just my impression that if we do that, if we sign up, he's looking for something that I'm not looking for. He's looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end the death. 2,000 people died this week. Soldiers, more than that, but 2,000 approximately people died this week. Young Ukrainians and Russians. And somebody would say, why do you care about Ukraine and Russian soldiers? I care about them. I care about everybody. And we're not doing that. Now, if we don't do anything, he's going to have to make peace, but he's dealing with a very weak set of cards. If we sign, he's dealing with a very strong set of cards, and that he doesn't want to make peace. So that's where we are. It's very simple. I'm not looking to get into anything protracted. I want immediate peace. President Putin is going to want to make, and he wants to end it. And you saw what I saw today. This is a man that wants to get us signed up and keep fighting, and we're not doing that. Not for this country. So we're setting a lot of records. Economically, we're setting records, and I think every way we're setting records. One of the best is the right track, wrong track. You saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
All right, so another thing to add on to this is that they're also saying how we should be backing up Zelensky because they're a Democrat nation, right? And then Putin isn't. But they're not really democratic per se. Like just because I feel like that word is so overused. Like they think because like countries have elections that they're like a free country. Like They're not. Like, Ukraine has been known for corruption forever now. I mean, look at the whole Burisma scandal with Hunter Biden is an example of that. So I think it's hilarious how Jasmine Crockett wants to talk shit about how one of the Trump brothers made money overseas and making it seem like they're a corrupted family when the Biden family is a literal corrupted family. That's why they got pardoned, you know. But you don't see them talking about that. So this is like another thing is, if we're giving them money and they can't pay us back with the same money we gave them, then we're going to want something that they have that's valuable to us. And that's the whole resources thing. So Donald Trump is trying to make a deal that, okay, we're not going to have military there. Europe should have military there because Europe is the one close to you, not us. We have an ocean in between. But we're going to have contractors there getting your minerals to pay back the money we gave you. And because we have Americans there on site digging, that's going to create deterrence for Russians to not have to like try to take over again or try to invade again. That's the deal that Trump is trying to make. Now, is he going to do it? I think so. I think Zelensky doesn't really have a choice in the matter. Like, he really has no leverage. So the fact that he was even like, oh, I don't want a ceasefire. I think we could. No, dude, it's not what you want, bruh. It's what needs to happen. Like, what you want is irrelevant. Like, we know what you want. You want more death. And you want us to continue giving you money endlessly for you not to know what the hell you're doing with that money. So, we know already what you want. You've shown it to us that you just want our money. And because that's not how this works, and we have a president that actually believes in transactions, like an actual fair deal, if we gave you $350 billion, you're going to have to pay that back some other way. And the best way to do it is to get whatever resources they have. Some may say that's harsh and that's not whatever, but hey, that's business. And at the end of the day, when it comes to countries, we need to be dealing it as a business. That's why the country right now, the federal government is being audited, because it is a business. It is the federal government is the biggest employer in the planet. So the fact that we're saying that we shouldn't treat it as a business is, to me, retarded, because it is a literal employer, meaning it's a business. Like, it's a business that doesn't make money. It literally extracts money from us. Like, that's literally what its business model is. So the idea that it shouldn't be audited is mind-blowing to me. It definitely should be audited because it is the biggest employer ever. So, yeah, just to put that in there. Let me read the comments really quick. Physical cues. Yeah, Zelensky was totally like, you can show that he was being super defensive. Hold up. Hold my beer. Yeah, that's all for you guys.
He was making fun of you saying physical cues instead of body language.
Oh.
So
yeah. You understood me, though. You understood me.
No, but yeah, Zelensky was showing clear signs of like being defensive. That was like the stock image of defensive, like crossed arms. Definition of.
Even after Biden said that he would do a pardon. Yep. Yeah, that he wouldn't do a pardon. Oh, I got you. Yeah, like exactly. So and I think it's hilarious how the Democrats are like talking all this smack about Trump. And it's like, bro, you weren't saying jack when Biden was in office.
Yep.
You weren't saying anything, dude. And that's how you know, like, you're full of shit. Because if you were to talk smack about what's going on in your own party, maybe I'll have some respect for you. But you don't. Instead, you literally deflect what's going on in your own party, how it's filled with corrupted people. And then you want to be like, oh, we have a president who is an enemy of the state. Like, bro, no, you're part of the problem. Like, you're literally part of the problem, and everybody like you is part of the problem. But guys, this was wild. This was a wild set of stories we have here. There's so many other stories, but you know, it's just, we will be here forever, you know. I just find the ones that are like the most entertaining ones, and then we just talk about it. But my prediction is the AP is going to lose to the courts, which is not here, but AP is suing the White House for kicking them out. And of course, the left are like, I can't believe he did that. it's like they can do that. It's the Gulf of America, not the Gulf of Mexico. So, they should have just stuck to the facts. So that's going to happen. I predict that. Zelensky is going to end up bending the knee to Trump. That's going to happen.
He has no choice.
Yeah, he has literally no choice. So that's definitely going to happen.
He's just pumping his chest right now. He doesn't want to seem weak in front of his people, but that's not weakness. Making a deal for peace through strength, or strength through peace, right? What was it?
Peace through strength.
Peace through strength.
Which was a Reagan thing.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's just so much bravado, I guess, that he's trying to portray. But, like, bro, you're in a really bad position. There's no time for you to be playing games like Trump says. Like, you just got to make the deal.
So Tucker said this a couple of days ago. I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday. I'm not sure. The days just go flying by now. So check it out. One of the most striking things about yesterday's Zelensky press conference was Lindsey Graham's reaction to it. The two are old friends, but Graham disavowed him within the hour. This was more than just transactional disloyalty. It was scapegoating. Lindsey Graham knows what's coming. Over the past 3 years, with the tacit support of its Western patrons, the Ukrainian government has committed a remarkable number of serious crimes. The Ukrainians sold huge quantities of American weapons on the international black market at 20 cents on the dollar. These weapons are now in the hands of armed groups around the world, including Hamas, the Mexican drug cartels, and the forces now controlling Syria. God knows what the Ukrainians have done with the pathogens in American biolabs, which also has been talked about, the crap they're doing there with the laboratories. Even U.S. intel agencies aren't sure. The Ukrainians have also murdered a number of people in various countries in political assassinations and tried to murder others, including American journalists and a European head of state. This is all true, and it's all going to come out at some point. Better start blaming it on Zelensky now. Interesting. So, yeah. There's been a lot of talk about how Ukraine has a black market on human trafficking, how they have a huge hub on that. So, the whole war with Ukraine, I think it's a lot darker than what we think it is. But again, this is all speculation. And actually, unlike the media, I'm actually saying it's just me speculating and making suggestions. It's not facts, It's not the truth. It's just what I think, But honestly, this is a wild ride. These 4 years are going to be wild. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who have not subscribe to Mary Truth Talks and become a truth seeker today. Like, share with your favorite liberals. Let them know that actually I'm not super extreme and I'm pretty centered, but whatever, you can make a judgment for yourself. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
It's going to be huge.
Huge.